Hello, everybody. Welcome to Browns and Beyond, your home for Cleveland Browns content, NFL content, and other sports content. If you're enjoying the show, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you stay locked in with all the latest sports content. And most importantly, drop us a comment. We want to hear your thoughts. All right, boys, it's another Sunday. The Browns and the Dolphins. Dave, you feeling optimistic about this one? What do you think?
A little bit of optimism in the air, Brent, on maybe a rainy day. I've got my Steve Retzer glasses on a little bit today, Brent.
Maybe you just exchange each other's.
I think you're more optimistic than Steve these days. Steve's kind of.
I'm becoming Dave. You're becoming Dave.
Yeah, you guys are. Isn't that movie with Nicolas Cage where you guys traded places with Travolta?
Face off.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You guys are doing that.
Shout out 1990s movie references. I'm here for them, Brent. Yes.
By showing my age maybe a little bit here, boys.
There you go.
Anyways, guys, we got a good show here. Getting into the Browns and the Dolphins preview, and we will start with Mr. Steve Retzer. Steve, what do you think? Do we finally break the seal here and get a W, or is this going to be another disappointing loss for the Browns? What do you think?
Well, boys, the Browns and the Dolphins play, both going into this game 1-5.
Mm-hmm.
The losing coach on either side could have a slight possibility of getting fired, guys.
Embattled coaches, Steve. They're embattled.
It's not looking good for general manager Andrew Berry or head coach Kevin Stefanski.
Not so much.
Going to get into this for a short period here. The Bengals beat the Steelers on Thursday Night Football, and a familiar face led the way.
Ooh. What was that game? Did either of you guys catch that
the
game?
The Bengals and the Steelers.
Night?
I don't know. Nothing happened that I know of. Nothing at all.
Joe Flacco threw for 342 yards, 3 touchdown passes, no interceptions.
Who is that guy? That Joe Flacco?
And
he was washed. He was washed.
Well, guys,
get him out.
This makes Barry look bad because he traded him to a division opponent. It makes Stefanski look bad because everyone thought Joe was done, but it proves Stefanski's offense is the worst in the NFL.
Wow. The worst?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is.
Yeah, it could be.
One of my favorite guys is Bruce Drennan.
Yes.
Bruce Drennan just said a change of culture may indeed be necessary because even if he had a lot of talent, I just don't know if he can do it. Now, I agree with Bruce. I think he's starting to lose the locker room, and the players aren't agreeing with his play calling. Get this. Myles Garrett even said it. He said, when you have a dynamic player like Quinshad Judkins, this is in the Steelers' reaction, give him the ball more.
Yes.
That's bad when your best defensive player calls out your head coach. He kind of called out Kevin a little bit. He's getting frustrated.
Deservedly so.
And,
I agree with that.
Steve.
I agreed with this. I actually wrote this on Facebook. We were down at the restaurant having food and drink. And I wrote it as well. And I got a lot of reaction on Facebook. I put it up on Facebook, and it just doesn't make any sense, guys. I feel bad for Dylan Gabriel having to showcase his talent with the most poorly run offense in football led by Stefanski. When they had a running game, they won games like years ago.
Sure.
Nick Chubb and all that. But since they want to throw the ball all the time, they've been losing. They're 4-19 to be exact.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Shedeur Sanders when he gets his shot eventually, because how could he do with this horrific and predictable offensive game plan, guys? Okay, let's get more into the game now.
Please.
I had to vent that, get that off my chest. Get it off my chest.
Feel a little bit better now, Steve.
I do. I really do.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, this is the first lefty quarterback matchup with Dylan Gabriel and Tua Tagovailoa, if I'm saying his name right.
Good
Since
job.
2006, when Michael Vick and Chris Sims went against each other.
Oh, a Sims
Kinda
Vick
interesting.
tilt. Yes. I'm here for
Chris
it.
Sims. Okay,
Yes.
it's the Phil Sims. His son. He's on the
Some
Pro
Phil-
Football.
Phil-
By the way,
announcer.
Sims isn't real big
Announcer.
talker about the Browns in his analyst work, but they faced off against each other. That was a long time ago, guys.
You know
So
what?
that's kind of interesting. Left-handed quarterback.
Not that many in the history of football. I mean, obviously the two that stick out are Steve Young and Boomer Esiason.
Yes, those two, Michael
Yes,
Vick.
as a southpaw, I will attest.
And me too.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, that's one of those positions. You're better off being a pitcher in baseball, actually, than probably an
football.
NFL quarterback.
Well, they said there's some advantages being a right-hander for football.
Yeah. The way the ball comes out.
Yeah, you're an advantage.
And also the
basketball,
receivers
you're
are
an
used to
advantage,
seeing it
based-
certain ways or getting in a certain location.
Yeah, Jerry Rice talked about that years ago, from adjusting from Montana to Steve Young. Yeah.
Yeah. Steve Young, is he the only lefty that got a Super Bowl?
Yeah, got a Super Bowl. Yeah, Hall of Fame.
But I could
yeah.
think of that. I coming off the. Anyways, continue,
Well, Boomer
Steve.
went to one. But
Boomer
yeah,
went to one, but still, that's still good though.
Right, that's true.
All right,
The
continue.
Browns are at home and are favorites for the first time this season. How? I don't know. The weather is due for rain, guys.
May speak to the opponent a little bit there, Steve.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, we get some rain here.
Yeah.
Yep. So we'll see how Dylan Gabriel can play against a bad Dolphins defense, especially against the run. The Dolphins are bad against the run.
Mm-hmm.
I do think Judkins will get 20 or more carries in this one. Since he didn't have any carries nearly last week in Pittsburgh, with the rain, I think he should get over 100 yards rushing. I think Stefanski will wise up and realize, I think I got to run this guy.
If he wants to win the game,
If he wants
that
to
might be
win.
an idea. That'd be a thing.
That's a thing.
It's a thing.
Guys, the Browns are going to be without tight end David Njoku.
Yeah.
He's out with a knee injury.
Wow.
Maybe the run game can open up the pass game, given the carries to Judkins.
little bit
And we
of
can
play
get
action.
a good game out of a guy named Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, where's he been, Steve? Where's he been?
Well, Dave, he's got to get it out of his head. He's got the drop passes. He needs to go out and have fun. I know it's hard to do in Cleveland right now, but get it out of your head, man. I think it's like in his head, too. He's just got it, they'll be counting on him. Harold Fannin Jr. should have another good game as well, especially with Njoku out. And then, of course, Jamari Thrash, who Dylan Gabriel was good with in the preseason. He's going to get more targets today, probably. The offensive line will have to play much better and protect Gabriel. Jack Conklin is a possible game-time decision. I feel like this is like week
Every
after
week,
week.
Jack
This is
is
a
a
thing.
game time.
This is
Yeah,
a thing,
yeah,
Dave.
We're back to that.
So, surprise, surprise.
Well, that tackle position has been terrible, Steve. It's
Yes.
just been bad.
And if he's out, KT Livingston will be in the
Please
rest of the
no.
game.
Please no.
The rest of the line is expected to play.
Okay,
So,
well, that
okay. Getting to the Browns defense, which has played great this year, will hopefully perform well for the fans at home. Myles Garrett said the players' frustration with losing is greater than that of the fans. I didn't like this statement because the fans are getting the raw deal on the end of this.
Sure.
And the Browns look like the laughing stock across the league from management to coaching. Garrett has to be big. He has to have a big game. He needs at least 2 sacks today, guys. He needs to make up for what he said.
Yeah,
You know,
it's been in a slump, Steve.
yeah, and he hasn't had a sack in 3 games. Mason Graham has a knee injury, but it looks like he's going to be playing.
Yep.
Michael Hall Jr. He's cleared
Mike
to
Hall
get
side.
this, boys. He's cleared to play, but I'm hearing they might rest him anyway.
Well.
Just to because that was a big knee injury, so that they may want to just play it safe.
I could have some intel there. I know his high school coach, actually.
Ooh, get him on the phone.
Coach Pete, actually. Good friend. Friend of the show.
Get him on, Dave. Malik Collins could have a good game again. He's been playing well. The linebackers Devin Bush and Carson Swetchinger are expected to make big plays, as they have so far this season. Now we know in the secondary Denzel Ward will play well, but I'm very, very concerned about newly acquired cornerback Tyson Campbell. Pittsburgh carved him up last week, boys.
he got beat.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, DK Metcalf got him on that
Oh
one touch.
man!
Yeah.
All day long. Remember, we watched it.
Well.
Me and Bern went to a bar. Went with my buddy to watch the game, and he goes, it's on him again.
I said
Remember?
that.
It was on Campbell.
I
all
said
day.
that in the write-up. To be fair,
I missed Newsome.
I
did.
Newsome was playing at a high level. Here's the thing: you knew a savvy veteran like Rodgers was going to look at that matchup. The guy's just been here a week or less than a week.
Yeah.
Schwartz is running a ton of man. The Browns run man coverage more than any other team in the league, and we're going.
You knew Aaron Rodgers was going to go at him.
He's going to look at him. He's going to get the matchup that's favorable with DK out there, and he's going to take his shot, and he did. So
Yep.
I'm not surprised actually. At
Well,
all.
hopefully Campbell gets acclimated to this man-to-man defense.
Right.
I do think Tua will challenge him all day, guys.
Yeah.
Let's get to Tua and the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
They have played inconsistently all season long, guys. The Browns should be able to stop running back Devon A-Chain, who had a good game against the Chargers, but they are near the bottom in the running game, guys. The Dolphins lost Tyreek Hill for the season, so they rely heavily on Jalen Waddle.
Yep.
So expect Waddle to have a big game. The other Dolphins receivers, they need to step it up. They're not big name guys. They haven't had lots of catches, but they might today.
Right.
Of course, tight end Darren Waller could get involved as well on the offense.
That Waddle-Hill combination was big a couple of years ago when they made the playoffs. And
Yeah.
Tua had his best season. Yeah.
God, we both regressed, Dolphins and Browns.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
It's
Battle
crazy.
of the regression.
Right. The trajectory of both of these franchises after playoff appearances.
From playoff appearances
And they're the complete extreme opposite.
Yeah.
The Dolphins got a weak D, and the Browns got a weak offense.
Right. That's where the rubber meets the road.
It's crazy.
Yep.
The Dolphins' defense is bad against the run, but it's led by Jordan Phillips. Linebacker Jalen Phillips, another Phillips, is a good player. And don't forget they have safety Minka Fitzpatrick, who I'm not a fan of after the hit on our beloved Nick Chubb that devastated Chubb's career. Speaking of Chubb, defensive end Bradley Chubb, who is cousins with Nick Chubb, is leading the team with 4 sacks for the Dolphins.
You know what? I once wanted the Browns to draft him. That was the draft. They took Denzel Ward.
Yeah, I was interested in him too. I'm glad we have Ward.
I agree.
Because you need a good corner.
Well, my thought was have the 1-2 punch as far as pass rushers go with him and Miles.
Yeah.
Would have been interesting.
At any rate, guys, I don't think it gets any better for our Brownies.
Oh, jeez.
I think Tua's game will be too strong for the Browns, and our offense may play bad once again, with the exception of Quinshon Judkins.
Okay.
I have the Dolphins winning 24-13, and the Browns losing another game, and even worse, at home and in the rain.
Oh.
Will Kevin Stefanski continue coaching? Time will tell, boys.
Time will tell.
Well said, Steve. All right, we're getting to Mr. Dave Greenshield, and Dave, you've been looking forward to talking about the Brownies. I know you have.
Well,
chomping at the bit, and
Brent, let's start with the Steve Retzer term. Let's call this the Battle of the Bad.
Yes.
We have 1-5 football teams doing battle, and as Steve mentioned, 2 embattled coaches. Offers an interesting matchup between 2 units that are struggling: the Dolphins' defense and the Browns' offense. The Browns' offense has really been in quicksand, a meager 13.6 points per game. Can they ever crack 20 points, Steve?
I mean, wouldn't 20 be great?
I mean, exactly.
Yeah, but you might be able to win with 20
well,
points.
they haven't since last year.
They haven't since last year. I mean, it's pathetic. Rookie starter Dylan Gabriel is thrown for 430 yards, 3 touchdowns, on 51 completions in his 2 starts. He hasn't gotten a lot of help from his coach or his supporting cast offensively. The only bright spot has been Quinshon. He leads the charge on the ground with 303 yards, 2 scores on 84 attempts. Dylan could really use some help from his wide receivers. Jerry Jeudy, Steve, I'm sorry.
He's got to show up today, Dave.
Steve,
Seriously.
he was
regardless of the install of the offense, regardless of anything, Jeudy needs
the guy
to
was
show up
a 1,200-yard receiver at one time. He was a top 10 pick in the draft. This is terrible. He's MIA. The rest of the wide receiver group's MIA. Thrash. Terrible. Your boy Cedric Tillman gets hurt. He's done.
Come on, Tillman, get back out of that injury protocol.
Yeah, I know. He's your guy, Steve. I don't know if you watched on Thursday night. There was this quarterback in Cincinnati who was throwing to dynamic playmakers. You know, it helps to have guys like Chase and Higgins out there who make plays. Maybe that's a big reason he threw for 347 yards and 3 touchdowns.
To be fair, Jameis Winston connected with David Njoku last year, Jerry Jeudy. So some said Cedric Tillman.
Right.
Same guy, different offensive game plan.
I was just going to
That's
say,
what's bad.
I don't think it's just a Flacco
He's not opening
thing.
up.
I think it's
He's
what
not
you
opening
said.
up that game plan.
No, the game
These
plan
guys
is the problem.
are not good,
Well-
but they performed last year a little bit.
And it also may still be a quarterback thing with your guy. We don't know if Dylan can really push the ball down the field in the same way.
It's a lot of gray area. It really is.
We haven't had enough of a sample size with Dylan yet either. So, but I mean, you need playmakers, Steve. You just do, and I don't think this offense has them. The offensive line needs to do a better job of pass protection. They were under siege last week. The Browns took a serious hit up front, losing both of their tackles during that game, and Conklin and Robinson in one fell swoop. Conklin is listed as concussion protocol. We'll see if he plays today, as Steve mentioned. I mean, Robinson exited with a knee injury, kept him sidelined for the rest of that game. It was rough out there. I mean, the tackles have been turnstiles the entire year, haven't they, pretty much, Steve?
Yeah, it's been tough.
Yeah, I would add, as Steve mentioned, the Browns are going to be without the services of David Njoku, maybe their most reliable pass catcher for the season.
Yeah, for a veteran, yeah.
The Dolphins' defense would be what the Browns' offense needs. Their defense continues to leak at alarming rates, surrendering 29 points per game in its last 6 outings. They do have a nice edge combo. Steve mentioned Bradley Chubb. I also think Choff Robinson is pretty solid. Chubb has 4 sacks this season. It's the run defense that's dead last in the NFL, giving up 168 yards on the ground. This has to be the game where Mr. Judkins has a day, Steve. It just has to
How about
be.
25 carries?
Oh, I'm here for it. 25, 30 even. I don't care. This must be a game where the Browns run the football. The conditions warranted. They need to give Dillon the support of a running game.
And it's at home.
And it's at home.
You got to do it. If you don't do it today,
it's not going to get done. This would help Dillon, hopefully. It might also help unlock the passing game. Maybe, you hit some of those intermediate to deep shots, play action game. We haven't been seeing a lot of it. It's been all these dink routes. We need to start throwing the ball. You need to start throwing the ball at least in the 15 to 20 yard range. We talked about this before.
Yes.
Brent. I agree. It's play calling, but it's also receivers getting separation. Everything.
It's a little
needs
bit of everything
to work in unison here, guys.
Yeah.
On the other side of the ball, the Browns defense will face some challenges from the Miami offense. The Browns defense could have some issues today because Tua could present them. He's looked good at times. He leads actually the NFL in red zone passer rating and is second in completion percentage in the red zone. He's coming off a tough outing against the Chargers with 3 picks, though. That Chargers Jesse Minter defense caused him some problems last week. He's been sacked 13 times this year, and the Miami offensive line has been shaky. This could also be a game where Miles could take advantage of that, Steve. Maybe Tua's holding the ball a little bit too long. He gets in there, gets a few sacks.
Dave, I got to tell you real quick about speaking of the red zone. You just said that Tua is great in the red zone. Is that correct?
Yes.
Guess what defense is worse in the red zone?
Yeah.
The Browns have a great defense, but we're the worst team in the red zone. You can score touchdowns on us. Just want to throw that in.
Yeah, we're not holding teams to field goals when they get in there.
Yep.
I hear you. Miles is. It's been shaky. He's gone 3 straight games without a sack, and could break his slump in this one. His 15.6 pressure rate is the second lowest since 2018, according to NFL Next Gen stats. It'll be interesting to see if the Browns overall can generate a better pass rush this week. Running back Devon Achane will present a challenge. He's actually, an underrated running back, Steve. He's put up solid numbers there in Miami.
Yeah, he's had some good games here and there.
But it's going to be tough, though. The Browns' run defense, best in the NFL. That Collins-Graham combination inside has been pretty stout. He's actually coming off a season-high 128 yards on 16 carries with 2 touchdowns against the Chargers. So he did have a good week last week, which is putting him over 2,000 yards for his career. He's been very explosive. He's averaging over 5 yards a carry, so he's a guy to watch today. The playmakers on the outside of this team have always been the strength. Remember that the Tyreek and Waddle combination is really good. You talk about a really good 1-2 punch.
That's a good combo.
There's a good 1-2 punch.
Tua can get him the ball.
Exactly. And they were explosive really for the 3 seasons. Obviously the combo took a hit with the Hill injury, gruesome season-ending injury in Week 4. This allowed second-year receiver Malik Washington to step into the role opposite of Waddle, while having a solid year, 390 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns. The Browns continue to play a ton of man coverage. Steve mentioned the Campbell matchup. That's going to be interesting. Does Ward
Campbell and Waddle,
or does Ward shade Waddle? That would be.
I want to see Ward on Waddle.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see if he's on him most of the day. The defense needs to do a better job of keeping teams. The defense has done a good job of keeping teams in games, but when does the dam break? That's always the thing about this defense. We've seen it in the second half last week. Unfortunately, we saw it in the last drive against the Vikings a couple of weeks ago. The offense just needs to sustain more drives.
Yeah, if we have to go 3 and out all day long, the defense isn't going to want to perform, right, Dave?
Bottom line, Steve, they can only hold on for so long. Just in conclusion, this is a game for this offense to get well. This would be the defense to face. They've been horrible against the run, and they need to emphasize the run. You hear that, Kevin? I hope he's listening, Steve.
I hope so.
It'll be interesting to see if the pass game can generate just a few chunk plays, just a few of those 15 to 20-yard plays. The defense finally needs to get some pass rush. Come on, Miles. I've only picked the Browns once. Call me crazy. I'm going Browns 20-14. Dolphins 17.
Wow.
All right.
That is.
There's my Retzer optimism.
You're becoming
That
me.
is,
There's the
I'm becoming you.
There's the Retzer optimism.
You guys have changed, like I said.
We
There it
finally
is.
get 20
Face off.
points. We kick
Face
a
off.
field
20
goal.
points.
We
Man.
kick a field
Oh, my
goal.
goodness.
We win this one.
20 points.
Come on, Browns.
That's a lot of points.
Come on, Steve.
Wow.
Try to be optimistic
This
here.
is something, man.
It's
This
called
is-
Browns and Beyond.
Browns and Beyond
That's
is
right.
flipped on its head here. Everything's changed. Retzer's pessimistic and Greenshield's optimistic.
I know.
What is
We're
going
we're
on?
The Twilight
Oh.
Zone.
We're in the yeah, we've been in the Twilight Zone. Too much in the last few months, right, Dave? Oh, we got to get out of the Twilight Zone. All right, we're going to get into the game of the week, and Mr. Retzer is going to continue his hot streak here. He's been winning more now than ever.
Too much.
At least his bold predictions have kind of quieted down a little bit. We'll get into
Just
that
one
later.
of them.
Anyways, Steve, what do you got for your game of the week? And give us a score prediction as well.
All right, boys. My game of the week, I got the Indianapolis Colts at the LA Chargers. The Chargers are 4-2, leading the AFC West, while the Colts are 5-1 going to this game at SoFi Stadium. Do you guys know that the Colts have like the best record in the whole AFC?
They're playing great
Wow.
football. Well,
Soft schedule so far, right?
Well, you
Or
know,
no?
they did run into the they beat
They-
Denver early in the year.
Yeah, but
which is a
that's a decent win.
That's a solid
That's a
win.
decent win.
They did run into the Rams, and the Rams kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we know what
the Rams
happened there.
beat 'em.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, as of right now, the Colts and the AFC 5-1, Buccaneers and the NFC 5-1, both best records so far.
Right.
It's a pivotal AFC matchup and a statement opportunity for the Chargers guys.
Mm-hmm.
The Colts come in, like I just said, with the best record in the AFC, and they're led by running back Jonathan Taylor.
He's a good player.
Remember,
Really good
I
back.
told you guys, and
Really
we
good
did some
back.
past podcasts together, in which I said Taylor's a top 5 running back. I think you guys agreed after I told you more about that.
Do you know what with this team is? There's more talent on this roster. They have a very underrated, good offensive line, and Taylor's one of the better backs. And their pass catchers aren't bad. Pittman's good. They drafted that tight end out of Penn State that won the Mackey last year.
Yeah, Tyler Warren.
So there's some talent for Mr. Danny Dimes to work with in that offense.
Yeah,
you know?
Danny Dimes. So
Danny
boy.
Dimes.
But yeah, I said he's a top 5 running back, and I was right. Taylor's leading the league in rushing so far, guys.
Yeah.
And they're playing very efficiently under Daniel Jones, a.k.a. Danny Dimes.
Danny Dimes.
The Chargers know they will have to stop the Colts running game, which they have struggled with at times this season. Justin Herbert is the engine of this
Justin
team, Brent.
Herbert. I've heard of that guy. Haven't you, Brett?
Continue.
He's been consistent, throwing a touchdown pass in every game this season. Not bad, Brent Keaton. The Colts.
Give it to him, Steve. Just give it to him. Give it to him.
The Colts secondary is dealing with some injury concerns, and if the Chargers can protect Herbert, then he has the weapons in Quentin Johnson and
Yeah.
Keenan Allen to light up the scoreboard. guys.
McConkey, too, is very underrated.
Yeah, McConkey's not bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Expect a big game through the air for the Chargers, guys. The Colts, as we know, they're led by Michael Pittman Jr. at receiver, and the tight end Tyler Warren. He's running for Rookie of the Year, guys.
Love
He's having
it.
lots of catches at tight end.
This was a
Good
good
connection
ti-
with
thi-
Danny Dimes and Warren.
This was a good tight end draft. You know, our guy
Harold Fannin,
Loveland
yeah.
was a good tight end. I like coming out. There were some good tight ends.
I
in
like
this
Warren
draft.
and Fannin so far out of all
Yeah.
the tight ends
Yeah.
for rookies.
They
Yep.
looked the best.
A Chargers win would send a huge message to the entire conference, and Coach Jim Harbaugh is the better of these two coaches, in my opinion, over Shane Steichen. The Chargers could be in the conversation as a top seed if they win this one. Khalil Mack. I
Yeah.
just said it. Mack is back. He's back to return from injury.
He had a nasty injury. They showed him like in a brace on the sideline after that, and you're thinking like, is this season ending? And wow, for him to come back and play football, that guy's
Yeah,
tough.
he is tough. He's an absolute playmaker, guys.
Yes, for sure.
The defense they've missed his presence, and if he can disrupt Daniel Jones, then Jones will have to play well under pressure, which has been a weakness for him when he's blitzed, guys. Derwin James is always tough defensively. You know, safety for the Chargers, he's always tough. Omarion Hampton, he's out with an injury. There's something about these Chargers running backs going down.
Yeah.
Najee Harris got injured.
Yes.
Now Hampton, the rookie, who was looking better, is out with an injury. So they've had to rely on running back Kamani Vidal. He just had a breakout performance. He rushed over 100 yards last week, guys. If the Chargers can establish a run game alongside with this dominant passing game, Brent Keaton.
Well, Harbaugh wants to run the football, to be fair. That's like
does.
a staple of a Harbaugh offense.
Hey, guys, I got a news alert here. Is it still the regular season, guys?
It is.
Okay. Come back to me in the
To be fair, it
postseason
is.
and see if
Yeah.
any of this holds up, okay?
All right.
It just
Yeah,
might.
well, let's continue from there. Good.
So having a balanced attack, they can control the clock and keep the ball out of Taylor's hands. It's going to be a tough, high-scoring contest, guys. With the home field advantage, Justin Herbert performing and the defense making a statement. We're calling this one for the home team. I have the Chargers winning 31-27 over the Colts and back atop the AFC. Bold up.
There you go.
Wow.
Go Chargers.
All right. Mr. Dave Greenshield, and let's see if you can get back on the winning ways. Been a little bit of a skid for you last I checked.
A little. How about a win?
You know, you need a Hail Mary.
Right.
All kinds of good luck coming your way. So what do you got here this week for Game of the Week?
Well, I'm going with an old school AFC West rivalry. The Las Vegas Raiders against the Kansas City Chiefs. These two teams are very familiar with each other over the years. Although Kansas City has dominated a lot of these matchups, the Raiders have played some of their best football against the Chiefs. You saw a complete shellacking of the Lions last week by the Chiefs, and it seems like this is a team that's hitting their stride. Steve Retzer's Super
They're
Bowl
a hot
pick.
team, yes.
Yes, Steve. Shout out. Star receiver Rice. Rasheed Rice. It was off the roster for a full calendar year, missing time due to the leg injury, and he's recovered also from a 6-game suspension. We won't get into the details over that. The Mahomes-led offense has been waiting to get healthy at wide receiver. They're slowly getting there. They got Worthy back. Now they're getting Rice back. So Mahomes is starting to get up his
They got
weapons
good receivers,
back.
something he hasn't had.
Yeah, I
in
mean,
some time.
I think the Worthy and Rice combination can be solid. You throw in a little bit of Kelsey. That's more than enough for Mahomes to work with. By the way, he's coming off a really solid performance against the Lions, one of his better games of the year. 22 of 30 for 257, 3 touchdowns, no picks, and that 30-7.
That made a statement.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had to have a feeling that it was a matter of time before this team kicked it up another level. The Chiefs ran into a very difficult start. They ran into the Chargers and a very hot Justin Herbert, by the way, that first week.
You know, the key is it was at the beginning of the season,
Right.
not at the end for Herbert. You notice none of those discussions are ever
By
happening.
the way, once he wins a playoff game this year, I'm sending you texts.
I won't
left,
show up.
Yes.
left
They're-
and right.
Hey, CJ will be the replacement. He'll be the moderator that day. We'll have over
Shout
all
out
this.
CJ.
Yeah. CJ, he'll be from the bar. He'll be
we go.
taking over Browns and Beyond in emergency duties.
All right,
Hey,
here we
All right,
go.
continue.
The Chargers may win a playoff game. Just to let you
Like
know,
I
Brent.
said,
me and Dave are probably in agreement.
I'm a little sick that day. All right, continue.
Seeing is believing, I guess. Yeah, so they had to face the Chargers. They faced the defending Super Bowl champs Eagles in Week 2. They lost those games by a combined 9 points. So, no disgrace necessarily in those losses. The Chiefs do have a question on the offensive line in this one. Rookie tackle Josh Simmons is going to be out. It'll be interesting to see if that unlocks star defensive end Max Crosby, and he can maybe take advantage of the matchup. At 4 sacks already this season, Crosby has been, does most of his pass rushing on the left side, meaning Jawan Taylor might be the one drawing the premium job of handling him in pass pro. The Raiders run a ton of zone, third highest in the league, 79.8%. The two corners, Stokes and Kelly, are the Raiders' top corners. They played 90% of the snaps. It'll be interesting to see if Mahomes works the middle of the field against the zone. This is normally where quarterbacks and receivers can find kind of the spots, is in the middle of the field against the zone. It'll be interesting to see if Travis Kelce sees some targets against that. He's usually good at finding those open areas in the zone. He has 28 receptions so far this year on 37 targets. He's been, a solid threat in the passing game this year, by the way. The fiance of Taylor Swift, by the way. I don't know if you guys already knew that. I was going to throw that out there.
Is that a thing?
Yes, that is very much a thing. But he showed no signs.
Are you going to get a Christmas card from him this year?
I don't think so. I think we're left off the Christmas card list. But he's really showed no signs of slowing down, by the way. I thought he had an awful Super Bowl, but he's, looked solid so far this year. On the other side of the ball, the Raiders' offense has really been struggling. It starts at the quarterback position with Steve's best friend,
Damn, Geno
Smith.
I told you guys.
I love Geno.
Yeah, boy, He's had his struggles. He already had 10 interceptions. He's had 2 games with 3 picks. The quarterback rating is ugly, 38. It ranks 29th in the NFL. Ouch. He's not gotten a lot of help from his supporting cast. And they're also going to be without the services of star tight end Brock Bowers. Knee injury. Makes him
that's an
doubtful for
important
this
piece.
one. Yeah, he's easily their best pass catcher. They also will appear to maybe be out the services of wide receiver Jacoby Myers. The wide receiver core has really struggled this year. The best receiver has been Trey Tucker with 24 receptions and 4 touchdowns. We say we have maybe the worst wide receiver core in the NFL. The Raiders aren't too far behind.
Isn't it hard to believe that this is a Pete Carroll team?
Yeah,
that Raiders defense is not a Pete Carroll Seattle defense. By the way,
I really thought this team would be a little bit better. I like the coaching moves. I liked Chip Kelly.
Carroll's still a good coach, but
Pete Carroll coaching and then Chip Kelly running.
What do you
out
think the
offense.
problem is?
Well, it starts at the quarterback position.
Geno.
I mean,
Yeah.
you got to be
Geno
able to.
Smith.
You got to be able.
He had his
well,
good run. He had a couple of good years, and then he started to fade.
Well, also Geno did have decent talent around him in Seattle. They had good receivers, good
Metcalf
backs.
and, yeah.
Exactly, Lockett was a good
Yeah,
1-2
that-
punch. See, again, you have to have the
Better
support.
organization,
Better
too,
organization,
Seattle.
supporting cast is a big part of this, guys. So the KC Bass defense is going to be a challenge for Geno. It's 8th rated in the NFL. The D line, still Chris Jones still playing really good football, high level. 3.5 sacks out of George Karlaftis, who's been their best pass rusher this season. Nick Bolton is leading the team with 53 tackles. It'll be interesting to see if Spags styles up some of those blitz packages to make life very difficult for Geno. The running game's really struggled, Steve. We were a big fan of rookie Ashton Genty.
yeah, we like him. I like him.
Although, it's been a little bit difficult. He's only averaging right at 4 yards a carry. I actually think it's more aided to a poor run-blocking offensive line. They're not opening up holes for Genty. I don't think this is as much on Genty. I got an interesting stat. He's forced 34 missed tackles, according to Next Gen Stats, which is second most in the league, by the way. It's resulted in 193 of his rushing yards, third most.
I thought I read that too. That's impressive for a rookie, Dave.
Yeah, imagine if he had some holes to run through.
Yep,
He was my pick of Rookie of the Year. I think he was yours too, Steve.
he was.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see if Geno could give him some help in the passing game. That might do some things to open up holes, but I think it's highly doubtful. My conclusion on this one, guys, is the Kansas City team is just starting to hit its stride. If you give Mahomes another wide receiver threat like Rice, look out. The Raiders have played the Chiefs hard in the past, not seeing it in this one, especially with Geno in this passing game having its struggles. I'm going with the Chiefs, 27-13. I need a win, guys.
Good pick here, Dave. Well said. All right, we will get to my game of the week, and that'll be the Dallas Cowboys and the Commanders. And let's go get in it. I have the Commanders right off the rip. I'm just going to have the Commanders winning this game.
You
30.
take the Commanders every
Yeah,
week.
I know.
I know.
He loves his side chick.
It's a-
Now
it's
that Jalen,
hey.
now that his boy
Daniels
is back.
Yeah.
He's back, so I'm going to be taking him more. It's my side chick, as Dave said. So,
They did,
all right,
They
guys.
did blow that game on Monday night against the Bears. I don't know if you guys
Yeah,
saw
I
the
saw
end of
that. Yeah.
That bad handoff. Maybe does that have people thinking that Caleb Williams is actually a good quarterback with the Bears pulling out that late win? I don't know.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
We got the Commanders winning this game 37-30.
Yeah.
So this NFC East clash features 2 top-tier quarterback, Jaden Daniels. He's entered a nice 62.1% completion percent for 875 yards, 7 touchdowns. Remember, limited time, missed a few games, and 176 rushing yards in limited action. And Dak Prescott, who's having an MVP caliber season.
Yes, he is.
What a year.
1,617 passing yards, 13 touchdowns through 6 games. This is Dave's boy.
Yes, Dakota.
Every time he picks the Cowboys, they lose. So anyways, continue. Just keep,
Rub it in, Keaton.
again, just saying. All right.
They had a tie.
All right.
They had a tie.
Oh, yeah, they had a tie, yeah.
40-40.
I think in Browns and Beyond, you get what? Maybe like a half of. Okay, anyway, enough of that.
Let me have a cookie.
Maybe
or something.
like a participation medal when you're like a kid. I don't know.
Thank you.
All right, the Commanders will secure the victory as Daniels uses his impressive dual threat ability to exploit that Cowboys struggling defense,
Bad defense, yeah.
extending crucial drives with his legs and ultimately outdueling what's that guy's
Dakota Rain Prescott.
by calmly, by the way, good timing on that. By calmly guiding a game-winning touchdown in the final moments. The Commanders pull this out 37-30 in a shootout. By the way, just saying, Take the over.
But
don't even think about the under on this
game,
one.
This game is he Dallas? You know what Dallas is?
Will Pickens have a big game? He's been a star for the wide receiver for Dallas.
Well, you know what's interesting? I'm waiting for that offense to get CD Lamb back.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got heavy receiver conversation in this game.
Lamb and Pickens are going to be tough
Yeah,
together,
there's another
Dave.
good 1-2 punch. Is Lamb and Pickens. You give Dakota Rain, Lamb and Pickens.
That's challenging the Bengals and the Vikings.
Don't you think his biggest thing is all through the years is just the lack of the defense?
Well,
he's had an okay defense.
Well,
maybe.
I'll say this though. Here's the thing with Dak. Dak, you know, it's interesting when you look at his career and the way the Cowboys were built. You know, they had the Zeke running game early in his career, and then, you know, he had to take over more of control of this offense once they didn't have that dominant running game. Now, Javonte Williams has had a nice year for them, but, you know, it's been more of his football team. Like early on, he kind of had to, it was like him and Zeke. It was like a combination.
I was a big Zeke guy.
Yeah, and Zeke his first 3 or 4 years was really good.
Yeah.
But, you know, now it's his offense, and he's really flourished. The thing with Dak has been the playoffs. It's like your guy Herbert. You know, you say Herbert's kind of the AFC version of Dak to it.
Yeah, they're both frauds, but
well, they don't show up in the playoffs.
at least Dak might win you a playoff game.
Well, he has.
Herbert might get bounced.
He has. The thing about it is Dak early on, his first couple playoff games were strong. He lost a shootout to Rodgers, you know, his rookie year. And then he played really well against the Rams in 2018. That was the year the Rams went to the Super Bowl.
I would say the Cowboys, another problem with the Cowboys, I always thought was coaching. I never thought they had good coaching. I wasn't a big McCarthy guy.
And you were never a Garrett guy either.
No, jeez, my God. He was
the ginger.
He was a puppet. Yeah. Oh, man, he was.
It was bad.
Yeah,
but,
he was a puppet.
The thing about that defense, not surprised that it struggled, by the way. It was a bad defense with Parsons. And you go ahead and take out their best player, and now it's one of the worst in the NFL. Yeah. They're basically the 2025 version of last year's Bengals. They better score north of 30 points to win every game.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, we're going to get to the final segment of the show here. That'll be the bold predictions, and we will lead off here with Mr. Dave Greenshield. Dave, please tell me you're going to win this one. I don't want to keep talking about losing.
I got a good feeling about this one, Brent.
Okay.
Well, you know why? I'm going with Steve's new favorite football team, the New England Patriots. And his man crush, Mike Vrabel.
Smart thinking.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going with rookie Travion Henderson to have his best game. He's going to have a total of 100 yards from scrimmage this week. The stars finally aligned for Henderson in Week 7, and the Patriots coaching staff will not be able to keep him off the field any longer. They're playing a bad Tennessee Titans defense, so I think he should.
Yeah, 1-5.
I think the game script should be in his favor. And this is a defense that should be able to take advantage. They should be able to take advantage of. I actually think May could have a big day against this defense as well. You know, he's also outperforming some of the running backs in this backfield. Ramondre Stevenson's only averaging 3.1 yards per carry. Antonio Gibson's dealing with an injury. So I expect a bigger workload from Travion Henderson in this game. Double-digit carries. I think he's going to catch some passes out of the backfield. Over 100 total yards from scrimmage. Wouldn't even be surprised to see.
Oh, that's including the pass game.
Yeah, I'm including both the pass and the run.
Stevenson and Henderson had been splitting carries.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Scrimmage yards.
Okay, I like that. I like the scrimmage yards.
I will specify my bold pay. So I think he's going to catch some passes out of the backfield. I think he'll get double digits.
Oh, it's going to be.
I like that.
It's going to be any time.
Right.
Total either
total
pass or rush.
Pass
okay, now that makes more sense.
It makes sense.
Yes, exactly.
Good call.
So, yeah, I think he's going to exploit this defense. I think he'll get more carries. I think, you know, Drake May will catch him on some screen passes. I think he has over 100 total yards, his best game of the year, and the Pats keep rolling behind Travion Henderson.
Yeah, okay, well said, Dave. We will get to Mr. Steve Retzer to wrap this up here. Steve, you going to keep winning these? Oh, that's right, you lost last week. I keep forgetting.
Well, guess what I did? I did what Dave's doing this week. I had Ashton Jenny of the Raiders getting 100 yards against the Titans.
Yeah, but you took rushing, I think, on that one, right?
I did rushing.
Yeah.
Smart of him to go scrimmage yards.
Yes.
At any rate, boys, I have the Atlanta Falcons at the 49ers. And my bold prediction is that the Falcons will upset the 49ers at home and get a win.
Right.
Bijan Robinson will have another great game, and I think he's going to rush for over 100 yards, leading the Falcons to victory. The 49ers are without Fred Warner. He's out for the year. They've been giving up rushing yards to good running backs, rather.
Well, they're without their two best defensive players because Bosa's done for the year, Nick Bosa's done for the year, and Fred Warner's done for the year.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been really hit with the injury bug. I mean, it's, you know, they lost your boy, Purdy early in the year. Mac Jones has stepped in and played some good football for them.
Yeah.
In a Kyle Shanahan offense.
They're winning games.
A coach
you
that
show you
knows,
Kyle Shanahan's a good coach.
A coach that knows how to run an offense, right, Steve?
Yes.
There you
yes.
go. I'll throw you a bone there, but maybe not so much. I'm insulting our coach, but yeah, they've just dealt with a ton of injuries. By the way, it's amazing they've been able
on
to
offense and defense.
stay afloat.
Speaking of defense, the Falcons' defense has played well all season. And like we just said, the 49ers have many players injured. Mac Jones, gets the start again over Brock Purdy with injury. And I got to go, the Falcons' defensive line is awesome. Their rushers.
I love that front seven.
They beat Buffalo. So I'm going
good football.
I'm
team.
going
I
with
like
the upset,
Falcons
guys.
Coming into the year.
I'm going with the upset. So go Falcons.
What was the line on that one, Steve?
I actually didn't check the line on that.
Was it 2.5, 3.5?
It's pretty close, though.
Okay.
I think it is 2.5.
So you just have an
2.5
outright,
to 3.
and I assume that the Niners are favored.
Correct.
Okay.
They're at home. Yeah, 2.5, 3, I believe.
Okay. All right. Well said, Steve. We're going to get some final thoughts. We're going to go around the table and kind of give our final thoughts. We'll wrap this up. Turn to Mr. Dave Greenshield. Dave, give us some final thoughts and wrap us up.
Well, optimism. As I said in my prediction of the game, I'm trying to be optimistic here, guys. I just feel that the Browns can run the football. I think they can run the football. They get the pass rush going a little bit. Dillon plays a solid, maybe not great game, but hits a few throws here and there. And we find a way to piece together 20 points and get a win today, guys. Come on.
Get us a W in the land.
I know.
Steve, what do you got here for final thoughts?
Guys, I hope Dave is right. I mean, I'd love to see the Browns get a win. And you know who deserves it more than anyone? The fans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guys, the fans deserve this. We deserve it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, well, this is my part of the segment where I give my Browns prediction, and I do have the Miami Dolphins boat racing.
Wow.
The
Whoa,
Cleveland
race.
Browns.
Jeez.
I had it at 28-10, and the Browns get the garbage TD at the end. 28-17, very similar to Mr. Steve Retzer's prediction, and we did not coordinate that score, by the way. We did not.
Is it that bad, Brett? You think it's just going to be that bad?
Here's why.
Go ahead.
I'm going to break this down
Please.
for everybody, and I think Steve will agree on this, because I think we did talk about this yesterday. I feel like Tua is good. And is he top tier? No. Probably second or third.
Right.
He can sling it. The defense stinks, but imagine if they had a defense. I think even a couple years ago.
They're inconsistent, but when he plays, he's on fire. Guys.
Yeah.
When Tua plays games, he's on fire.
Remember he would go toe-to-toe with Josh Allen a couple of years,
right.
and he would lose, or maybe they win by a little bit.
Right.
Like
it's really the interior of that Dolphins defense that struggled. They've got good edge guys, the edge rushers.
Yeah.
And then the secondary's also been very weak too. So, but I mean, can the Browns passing game do anything?
That would be the only way that this is where your theory holds up, Dave.
Yeah.
Is if Dillon just goes off a little bit and they open up the playbook and they get the passing going, then that would negate some of the things I said. But my fear is that the offense is still going to sputter a little bit, which means you think Tua is just going to go dormant the whole game?
No.
Come on, that ain't going to happen.
What I'm saying is I think the Browns pass rush gets after him a little bit today.
Here's another thing. If you want to beat Tua, I thought of another thing you can do. Time of possession.
That
You
would
got to
help.
keep him off.
We need to run the ball.
You got to run the ball.
Yeah.
You got to eat the clock. You got to do it. Yeah, go ahead.
Dave, you're right. McGuire, Alex Wright,
Yes.
they could get to Tua as well.
That's what I'm saying.
And Tua's injury prone.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to think like Dave for a moment. He's injury prone. He gets concussions. Man, if they get in on him, they could hurt him.
But I'll tell you what, though.
Him.
Dave makes a good point, though, about go back to the Judkins thing.
Yeah.
If Judkins can do his thing like he did against the Packers,
Yeah.
I think maybe the Browns win.
Or you get a Vikings-like performance. If
you get a Vikings-like performance
running the football.
then you're probably gonna win.
I think the offensive line can block this front. I think Dillon hits a few play actions. I know I'm not talking you guys into this one, but I think the defense can do enough with the run game and a decent passing game. I think we pull out a close one. You think we're getting boat race?
It's a boat race because I just don't. You know what? I haven't seen the offense do well.
Yeah,
And that's the problem. I got to
see
see it.
Yep.
And the only thing that's different, I will say this about the Browns. You guys have been watching these guys for a few years, just like I have. What are they like at home? For some reason, they're better.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but they are better. I don't get it.
The defense plays really well at home, so that's what I'm banking on.
So that's the only thing that I think you can hold your because on the road they look terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing to see here. All right, guys, that's it for today. You guys have a good one. Take care.